We've seen a lot of sharks in media, but usually they're portrayed in such a bad light. So let me give you an example.
Carcharodonus longimanus, more commonly known as the oceanic whitetip, is a species of shark found in pelagic, aka open ocean regions in warm tropical climates such as the Philippines. Their species gets their distinct name from the unique patterns on their dorsal, pectoral, and tail fins, all of which are much more rounded and paddle-like compared to those of other sharks, which enables them to gracefully glide across vast stretches of the open ocean. Being apex predators, this species notably has remarkable senses, including excellent smell and excellent hearing, as well as the very unique ability to detect changes in the water pressure and sense electrical impulses, all of which enable them to very accurately pinpoint prey no matter where they are. Despite their aggressive nature, mariners would come to very affectionately nickname this species sea dogs for their tendency to follow behind ships in the hopes of getting food. This demonstrates their remarkable ability to learn and identify patterns, all in order to aid with their hunts.
This species was once a thriving one not too long ago. A study conducted in 2020 noted that exploratory research surveys conducted in the Gulf of Mexico within the 1950s frequently described the species as remarkably persistent, as fishermen would frequently report the sharks to be investigating baited hooks and attacking caught tuna before they were reeled in. Nowadays, however, the species has become incredibly rare, with populations being reduced by more than 80% in some areas. As of 2018, the IUCN Red List has marked the species as critically endangered, just one step away from being extinct outside captivity. Given their role as apex predators, this could spell disaster to already endangered oceanic ecosystems, as without anything to regulate them, a skyrocketing prey population will inevitably lead to a depletion of vegetation, and thus a collapse of the food web as a whole.
Now, how could this have happened? It can all be explained by simply acknowledging the fact that these sharks are exploited exponentially, as they have many trimmings and fins that have become increasingly lucrative for trade, which is what drives most to catch as many as possible to increase trading opportunities and thus revenue. This does not just apply to oceanic whitetips, but rather most shark species, as Dulve and others' evaluation back in 2021 highlights how over 37% of rays, sharks, and skates are threatened with extinction, which includes the likes of manta rays, hammerhead sharks, and whale sharks. On top of that, Baumann Meyer's 2004 study also suggests that over 90% of these species may have been overfished. However, for oceanic whitetips, this has become so rampant in certain markets that some already have distinct identifiers. A study conducted in 2020 has found that these sharks have their own category, Liuche, and represented approximately 1.8 of the Hong Kong shark fin market from 1999 to 2001. Unfortunately, things have not gotten much better, as a 5-year review of the species conducted by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration that was released this year found that the shark is still threatened by factors such as overutilization, increase in temperatures, and reduced oxygen. Thus, their existing status of threatened, established by the administration back in 2018, was not changed. Overall, it becomes apparent that the prevalence of this issue has accelerated in recent decades, and while acknowledgements and efforts have been made regarding it, they have not made enough of an effect for a change to really occur.
Looking at it, it feels unjustified watching what used to be one of the most common large animal species in the entire ocean be eradicated for the sake of commodity. As such, we believe that the ocean whitetip shark, alongside all the other shark species endangered by these same issues, need to be prioritized in aquatic conservation efforts. Stronger fishing regulations need to be enforced, such as through trade restrictions and protected no fishing zones. Bycatching, while difficult to reverse, can also be avoided by telling the fishermen about this issue.
Being a critically endangered species, action needs to be taken now, before it is too late. Even if you don't have the authority, however, you can still make a difference. Speak up with your voice against the shark fin trade. Reach out to officials who have the power to enforce stricter regulations. Or speak up with your wallet by only prioritizing sustainable seafood sources in order to discourage producers from participating in the market. Lastly, you can help spread awareness by liking or sharing resources such as this video in order to help get more people behind the cause. As we continue to witness the endangerment of aquatic life such as the oceanic whitetip shark, let us all remember that we all have a role to play in their conservation. Every little thing that we can do to mitigate this problem may just be the thing that causes significant change to their fate. Because of this, we would like to invite everyone to take action in any little way that they can.